Share what?
Share the link from YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, looks like we are live, I believe. We'll find out here in a second. So welcome everyone to our 6th annual Fun Run, 2nd annual Fun Run live stream. So welcome guys. If you don't know us, we'll go ahead and introduce ourselves really quick. So my name is Clint Carton. I'm the Associate Director of Youth Ministry here. So welcome everyone to... And we'll go ahead. You guys want to introduce yourselves?
Sure, I'll go first. My name is David Harley. I'm the Director of Youth Ministry here at St. Mary's. I've been here the entire time the Fun Run has been, so going on year 6. I love being here, and I'm super thankful for y'all. And then I'll let our president of our committee introduce herself.
That wasn't a appointed presidency. I wasn't elected. I'm Jennifer Prohaska, and this is my 2nd year as chair of the Fun Run, and also our 2nd year to have a virtual Fun Run. So I have my husband Frank is a member at St. Mary's, and then we have 3 boys that are, one was confirmed in September, and then the other one's in the process of, he's in confirmation 1, and one is in Edge in 6th grade. So we've been involved in the youth program with Clint and David for several years now, and we're very thankful for them.
Yeah, thank you. All right, so if you guys haven't joined us before for our live stream show, I guess last year was the first one, we'll kind of give you guys a rundown of how a virtual Fun Run and the live stream show works in a second. But before we jump into that, I want to let you guys know that we are doing a Best Costume Award again this year. So if you guys are interested in participating, make sure you take photos and tag, put them on social media and tag us on that post. So our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter are all at St. Mary YCM. You can also post it on Facebook to our parish as well, which is St. Mary of the Expectation. So go ahead and send that. If you tag it with hashtag St. Mary 5K, that'll get to us as well. So make sure you guys post, tag us in it, and we'll make sure you guys get entered into the contest for that. And then we're going to post on Facebook and Instagram all those options, and you guys will get a chance to vote for the winner, which will be announced later on at our after party. So more details on that to come. So Jennifer, you want to go ahead and explain how a virtual 5K works and a little bit about the live stream and just how things are going this year?
Yeah, so last year when we began planning for the Fun Run, thinking that it was going to be a normal year, and then obviously things changed pretty quickly, and we didn't want to abandon the whole idea of the Fun Run, even though we were in the middle of a pandemic and quarantine. So I had heard of a virtual 5K before, and so kind of researched that to see what we could do to make that happen for our church. And so basically it was just a way for people to safely gather in small groups within their household and still participate if they wanted to run or walk as a group, or if not, just to sponsor and support the youth group, even though we weren't able to gather as we usually would. So I think we had a lot of good feedback and turnout last year. I think a lot of people enjoyed it. And I think it was a good, especially last year, a good break from the isolation that everyone was experiencing, something to kind of look forward to and something fun as a community to do. So we decided to continue with an effort to keep things socially distant this year, decided to do it virtually again. So I know we've had a few groups already out there this morning participating, and I'm sure my boys, as soon as they're up, will be out there running real soon.
Awesome. Yeah, and that's the other thing too of this year, we've actually had a lot of success in basically every aspect of the Fun Run. Even though we are still going virtual, we've had a lot of people who registered. We've had a lot of sponsors. I think we're going to announce this more later, but we actually succeeded in meeting our goal financially too. So it's been really awesome to see everyone come together for that. So speaking of runners and sponsors, we actually have a lot of awesome sponsors who were able to support us this year, even in spite of businesses struggling financially with the pandemic and everything, which has been amazing. So we actually want to go ahead and give a shout out to one of those sponsors right now. So David's going to go ahead and talk a little bit about them.
Yeah, I want to give a special shout out to the Knights of Columbus, and our council here at St. Mary's is 9310. The Knights of Columbus are a pillar of our community, and whether it is serving our community at fish fries or annual parish bazaar, taco breakfast after mass, the Knights of Columbus are always there to serve our parish and make everyone feel welcomed, and to just have a greater impact on our parish. So if you're a male over the age of 18 and would like to know more about joining the Knights of Columbus, how you could be a part of this awesome organization, go ahead and shoot me an email at david.harley@stmcc.org, and I can get you in touch with the Knights. But they do amazing work, and we're so grateful for them. So shout out to the Knights of Columbus, Council 9310.
Awesome. All right. So with that, one of the cool things about the live stream is we actually get a chance to talk to some of the participants, some teens, adults, and we can actually see how the fun run has affected them specifically. So Jennifer, you already shared how it's benefited your family specifically, but one of the things we want to do is bring in one of our teens to talk about that as well. So let's go ahead and see if she's ready. Hopefully. All right, we'll give her a couple seconds for the audio. All right, Katie, can you hear us? Awesome. Welcome. So first things first, you want to go ahead and just introduce yourself for everyone.
Okay. Hi, I'm Katie Buckley. I am a senior this year from Clear Falls, and I've been a part of the youth ministry for 4 years.
Yeah, and co-president of Teen Leadership. Oh, yeah. So kind of a big deal. Kind of a big deal around here. It's great. Okay, so first things first, correct me if I'm wrong, you registered as a snoozer for the event, right?
Yes, I did.
So I don't blame you. I woke up this morning and running was not the first thing on my mind, I'll tell you that. So what made you, even though you didn't want to run, what made you want to still sign up for the fun run?
Because it supports the youth ministry, and the youth ministry has supported me in every single step of my high school life and personal life. And I just wanted to do at least a little bit to help them and give back, I guess.
Yeah, that's awesome. So actually you want to talk about that a little bit too, just how youth ministry in general has benefited you, because obviously the fun run is all about just raising funds to make things possible for the youth. So how has that benefited you?
Yeah, so for me, I feel like my story is a little bit different. I showed up to St. Mary's my freshman year, a little late, so it was kind of weird, and I didn't know anybody. But the youth ministry welcomed me with open arms. I remember kind of sitting by myself, and then the teen leaders would come up to me and be like, hey. And it was just like a home. It was welcoming. I was able to kind of meet new people that were my age, that were dedicated to their faith and trying to grow. And then after I made my confirmation, I was able to join teen leadership, and I was able to kind of be that person for others. I know whenever we were in person, that was one of my favorite things, was being able to go up to the little people sitting by themselves and make them feel welcomed, because I mean, it does wonders to people, like making you feel like you're okay to be here, makes you want to learn more. And, the youth ministry has done so much in teaching me about my faith. My family isn't super religious. I mean, we're just non-practicing until I came to St. Mary's, and I was able to make my faith my own through the youth ministry, helping me feel welcomed. So, yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, and so much of that is made possible because of this event, really. This is the only fundraiser that we do for our program, and a lot of that money goes towards just your normal life teen and stuff that you were just talking about in teen leadership events. We also, a lot of the money from the fun run goes towards making ministry events more affordable, especially retreats and conferences and stuff like that. So what types of service projects, retreats, camps, that kind of stuff have you been on, and how have those things affected you over the last couple of years?
Okay, I love talking about this. So I Shine twice, and that absolutely changed my life. I'll come back to it. I went to Brave. I've led a retreat last November, or the November before that, but that also changed my life. Anyway, going back to Shine, I cannot say enough good things about Shine in general. And I think the first time I went on Shine, that was the first time I truly felt like I had friends in the church, like people that I was able to room with that I still talk to this day, even though they're done with the youth ministry and graduated. Shine was the first time that I was able to attend adoration, that I was able to go to daily masses, that I was able to just do service work with other people and see how, doing service changes people's lives firsthand. And without the fun run, costs would have been way more, and I don't know if I would have been able to go. So this event is absolutely amazing, and yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And one of the things that just blows my mind that we're able to do because the fun run is for those events, those major events that we'd have during a normal summer, is per person per retreat, we save families about $100 for most of those events, which is massive. I know growing up, that would have been a huge deal for my parents as well. And Jennifer, like you said, you have several boys in the program, so I'm sure you guys have experienced that too. So the next question I have for you is kind of a little bit different, but one of the other things that the fun run helps is our meeting space as the youth ministry, right? So we're about to hopefully have a new space here in the new ministry building. I don't know if we even announced that, but we're recording from the new ministry building, which is super exciting. We just got to do our first event in here last Saturday, which was our confirmation retreat, but it's still not quite done yet. But we're really excited to be able to be here. And hopefully we'll be having a space that we can set aside for the youth and have games and stuff where we can gather and have that relational aspect that you're talking about before. But as a teen leader, you've also gotten to see our other youth room as well and kind of experience some of those things, Whataburger Wednesday, the games that we bring, stuff like that. So how has stuff like that benefited you over the last couple of years?
I think that just goes farther in creating unity with everyone, which is so important. We used to have Bible studies in the youth room, and the room was filled with couches, and it's so welcoming, and you come in and you're able to kind of catch up with everybody and just really build that community. I remember one time I was at Mass by myself, and one of the girls that was in teen leadership saw me, and just because she knew me that little bit from being in Bible studies or being having spent that time with each other, she was able to kind of get a group of people together, and so we could all go to church together, and I wouldn't have to be by myself. Like these little, just what seems so little, something that like, okay, I'm sitting in a room talking with somebody, in the long run it can catch up to you and be like, wow, that's insane, like somebody cares about me enough to want to get a group of teens together to go to church so I don't have to be by myself. Like that's something I will never forget, and the feeling that I was able to get from that. So yeah.
Yeah, that's really awesome. It's actually really powerful too, and to know that you're not alone in your worship, right? So a huge aspect of our faith is community, right? That's really cool. So the last question I have for you is just for someone who's still considering how they can support the youth, or if they can support the youth, or what they can do, what would you say to that person?
Is somebody that's wanting to support the youth?
They're kind of on the fence. They don't know if they can financially. They don't know what to do. What would you say?
Oh, I would say whatever you can give, whatever you can do. I know that we have a core team, people that come and help out every week if you have time rather than money. Like core team members change lives. Money in the youth ministry changes lives. I've been at my lowest of lows, and this youth ministry has helped me through it without even knowing, like just the awesome youth ministers we have, the awesome core team we have, the awesome community we have. I know not everybody is in a space to help financially, but whatever you can give goes so far. Like we're so appreciative for it. If you can give your time, like whatever you give will not be taken for granted. And the littlest bit that you can give goes so far in helping these kids, me, like everyone. It's more than I can describe.
Yeah, for sure. And I think when you say it changes lives, I don't think that's an exaggeration. I think from my experience, and obviously from yours as well, it really does make a huge difference. So With that, I'm going to go ahead. I just dropped in the chat. If you're following us on YouTube, you can check that out. A link to our fun run page on the website. So if you guys still want to donate your gifts in that way, please feel free to do that. And with that, Katie, do you have any final notes for people you want to say before we sign off here?
I just want to say thank you. Thank you all if you donated. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Just thank you. Really appreciate the time.
Awesome.
And I wanted to say really quick, just thank you, Katie. Thank you for your dedication to our program. We're super proud of you. I remember when you first came in, you were pretty shy, soft-spoken, and you just flourished in our program, and that's what this is about. So thank you for coming on here and just sharing your experience. And good luck at college. I think you made a final decision, or are you still on the fence? I don't want to put that out there if you don't know.
I'm going for sure to Tech, so that's exciting.
Okay, Texas Tech. There we go. All right, congratulations, and I'm sure we'll talk again soon.
Awesome.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
All right. And with that, let's go ahead and jump into our next sponsor break. So David, if you want to go ahead and bring us there.
So our next sponsor we want to share about is San Lorenzo's Mexican restaurant in Cantino, which is family owned for over 20 years. San Lorenzo's is a staple in the Bay Area and has had some of the best Mexican food in town. So please consider planning your next family dinner to San Lorenzo's to say thank you for all that they do for our youth ministry program. And each and every year at our fun run, they've been one of our top donors and always supported us, even during this pandemic where restaurants are hurting so bad. And there's always good Mexican food in Texas, right? There's a lot of options, but they have great food there, but they're also great people. So I really want to challenge you to consider just going out to San Lorenzo's and supporting them, because they continue to support us, which is honestly, it's just incredible, and we're so thankful for them.
For sure. All right. So before we jump into our next interview here, so I actually want to jump back to Jennifer real quick. So you talked when you were first kind of introing the event and everything about how the presidency was kind of put on you a little bit, but you've been involved in different stuff. Your family's been involved in different stuff for quite some time. Even though the position was kind of thrust on you, you ultimately did say yes. So like, what made you want to say like, yeah, I want to do this. I want to take the time, because it does take a lot of time and coordination to be able to make this event happen. What made you want to say yes to that?
So I actually, I grew up Methodist. I became Catholic. I went through RCIA 19 years ago. And so I had a Methodist background that had a really strong youth program that I was involved in through middle school and high school that I absolutely loved. And when we first started at St. Mary's and our kids were still preschool, elementary school, we didn't have a strong youth program at St. Mary's because we didn't have Clint David yet. So it was one of those things I remember thinking, I really hope that by the time my kids are that age that we have something for them, because I hate to think that they would miss out on those experiences, because I know how important they were to me as a teenager and how important it was for my faith at that point. And so originally because my kids were little, and I'm an early childhood educator, first grade teacher now, but I was very involved in the Vacation Bible School program, and I taught faith formation, I have up until now. We're not, it's virtual this year, but anyway, was very involved in that. To be honest, teenagers kind of scare me a little bit, so that's not the thing. I appreciate y'all, but so I've been really involved with the younger kids, but seeing them through their formation, starting in watching those preschoolers, elementary age kids moving on up. And now seeing them in the youth group with my kids, it's been really neat to see that process and to see their faith grow from, preschool up to high school, middle school. So that's why it's important to me. Like I said, I know my strength is not working with teens, but I also know that I really appreciate people who have a passion for it. And I know y'all do. And so I was really thankful to have y'all there, because I was like, if we don't have it at St. Mary's, I'm gonna have to take them to the Methodist church, and that would be awkward. So,
Yeah, it would be.
So thank goodness I didn't have it. No. So my boys do, all three of my boys are so very different. And, even though my oldest, Hank, that was confirmed in September, is a pretty quiet kid, he was really, really excited to be confirmed. And that's not something that you would necessarily know because he doesn't share a lot, but it was really meaningful to him. And luckily we were able to have, confirmation in person, even though it was a little different this year. But so we're very thankful for that. And now we've got Luke halfway there. So hopefully he'll be confirmed another year. And and then Kyle started with Edge, which has, been all online, but he's been enjoying it. He gets excited, even though it's online, it's not in person. He's got this thing where he makes himself hot chocolate for Edge meetings. I don't know, it's a thing. So
nice.
I should be doing that.
He gets all excited. Well, hold on, I got to get my hot chocolate before Clint's already on. I got to get my hot chocolate. So.
Good to know.
So,
we are going to be back in person in the fall, so maybe we got to have hot chocolate the first day.
Ooh, that would be fun.
That would be awesome.
I like to drink tea a lot of the times during Edge, so a little bit different, but kind of on the same pace there. Awesome. Well, we really are thankful that you stepped into this position, even though it was kind of thrust on you. You do a great job, and especially with your first year being thrown into literal chaos and just everything being turned upside down. So I think things are going great. So
well, Mary Margaret Armstrong paved the way for this, so she was the one in charge before me, and she and Josh did a great job getting it started because they, started from the ground up, and it was them and the Pistonis too that did so much work to start this process and iron out all those details. So it made it easy for me to move into the position when they had all that already laid out and could pass it on to me. So I feel like I'm kind of cheating a little bit since it's been virtual the last 2 years. I haven't worked nearly as hard as they did those first 4 years, but I'm sure next year I'll figure all that out.
yeah. We'll be back to hitting the pavement again. So speaking of which, hopefully you guys are out there enjoying your runs. Hopefully everyone is awake at this point and has gone out there who's planning on doing so. Don't forget, if you're dressing up in costumes, to send those to our social media platforms so we can enter you guys into the contest. I think we've probably received a couple so far. We've gotten at least 3 teams, looks like. Excellent.
I saw the VJs are on there. Did you see Melissa VJ's mustache crew?
Oh, I have not.
Yeah, well, it came up on my page, and she had a hashtag for St. Mary Fun Run.
Okay.
Perfect. Yeah, it should be St. Mary Fun Run. We're not mad if people use a different hashtag, but that's how we find you. So St. Mary Fun Run.
All right.
And Jennifer, if you want to send that to us, that would be.
I will. Yeah.
And then the other award I want to make sure that I announce as well is our Social Media Butterfly Award. So if you guys are really big on social media, make sure you guys share those posts. If you put the hashtag or you tag us in the post, we're going to go around and check all those, and whoever has the most retweets or reposts or whatever platform you're on, likes, icons, whatever, the most reactions, comments, we want to see who's getting their posts out there the most, and we will have an award announced later for the person who has that. So make sure you guys are sending that stuff out. So with that, I think it's time for our next guest interview. So let's go ahead and see if he's ready. There he is. All right. How's it going, Ty? Can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Can y'all hear me?
You sound great. Excellent. All right. So first things first, let's go ahead and hear who you are. So if you want to just share with the people who you are, what you do, stuff like that.
Yeah, of course. I'm Ty Halligan. I am a team leader at St. Mary Expectation. I'm a senior about to graduate. And, as a team leader, I kind of do my own thing with like Bible studies and life team, but I also get to help out with the Edge program with their Bible studies and with small groups there as well. Yeah.
Ty is super involved, and being the other co-president, just has offered a lot to the ministry in the last couple of years. So we want to talk to you a little bit about the fun run and also just like how it benefits the ministry. So first thing, unlike most of us, you're actually a runner. So how did that go this morning? Did you prep yourself? Did you just go out cold, or how did everything go?
So not as well as I would have hoped. So I'm in the off season now, and I really felt the off season. So I don't have anything I'm really preparing for. So I started the freshman 15 a little early. So we're hoping that I can mitigate that. But considering I've only ran like twice, maybe 3 times in the last month. I wasn't incredibly disappointed with the time. I think I came in at about 22:59, which is not where I want to be, but it's not bad. So
yeah, that's still pretty good. I mean, our team walked it last night. I think it took us 59 minutes and like 30 seconds or something like that. So
It didn't take us an hour.
It didn't take us an hour.
Not take us an hour.
So we're feeling pretty good about that. All right. So you said you've only ran like 3 times. So you didn't have any like crazy training regiment or diet going into this whole thing.
I really wish I could say that I did, but no. I definitely warmed up beforehand. So, not trying to pull anything, got to keep it nice and loose. But I would say my training regimen is probably pretty disappointing. So hopefully we can get that corrected over the summer. So.
Sounds good. Well, I would say just by the fact that you actually thought about it, you're probably 10 steps ahead of the rest of us. So you're doing great. So you've actually done the fun run for a while though. And back when we were in person, you had some success there too. So you want to talk about maybe some of the awards that you've won? Because I'm pretty sure you've medaled at the event in person. Right?
I did. Yes, I remember. So my freshman year, I don't remember what we did sophomore year. It might have actually rained out sophomore year. Freshman year.
That's right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. So freshman year, I was 2nd overall, lost to my homeboy Arnold. He's an absolute champion. But I was 2nd. I think I came in at like 1941, something like that.
Nice.
And at the time, that was my best. So I was extremely excited for that. And I think that fun run actually kind of kickstarted my cross country career into, that's where I kind of started building into varsity mode. So y'all's fun run got me that was the start of my varsity journey. So I got to thank you.
Look at that. We're talking about changing lives, but this is not the way that we expected to go with that.
Not at all.
Awesome. No, that's really cool. I didn't actually realize that either. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about just the fun run and how it's really affected you too. So we talked about this a little bit with Katie a few minutes ago too, but the fun run helps make youth ministry events affordable. That's one of the biggest benefits that we have from the fun run. So what type of service projects or retreats or conferences have you gone on, and how have those benefited you over the last couple of years?
Yeah, absolutely. So I feel like the funds that this 5K generates are absolutely essential, not only for all of us, but specifically for me. I feel like it was just incredible how these funds impacted my life. Prominently, the one that you're going to hear a lot is Brave the Wilderness. I've been on it 3 times, and it was the best retreat I've ever been on. It's a week long. We go up into the retreat center at Forest Glen in Huntsville, and we kind of just spend some time, with the Lord and with each other. And I think the most striking part about that retreat every single time is just how on fire for the Lord everybody is there. It's like that community, and just knowing that there are so many people your age that care about the faith. It's really reaffirming, and it really helps kind of build you in the sense like, I'm not alone in this. Like, there are people that also want the same things I want. And if you're not there yet, it kind of like gives you that example to strive for. Like, there are kids in high school who are like really into their faith, so maybe I should get there too. But apart from retreats, I think just the basic, inner workings of youth ministry program, I think some of the more subtle things in youth ministry are the most important things. So retreats are nice, but being able to build, the things at Life Teen and the grind at the Bible studies, which the funds can help kind of contribute to so that we can have the best possible experience. So I think the funds that this 5K generates are absolutely essential for the faith formation, not only of myself, but of all the future Life Teenians to come.
Yeah, I totally agree. And one of the things that you said too was just helping teens recognize that it's okay to embrace the faith. Like you're not alone. Like you're not completely outcasted just because you want to embrace the faith. And I think that's something that all the things that you just described helps build that up, that feeling, that realization. And so I think that's huge, just to know that it's okay. Like you're not going to be shunned because you practice your faith, and you're going to be welcomed. That's huge.
Absolutely.
So, The next, I guess, kind of major thing that the Fun Run benefits in large scale is the fact that we're able to bring in so many guest speakers. So we're able to bring in guest speakers from locally, but also regionally known. And I think we've even brought in some nationally known speakers. Well, technically, one's gone to Canada as well, so kind of international.
There we go.
But yeah, so we're able to bring in a lot of really awesome speakers. So do you mind sharing a little bit about, have any of those stood out to you? I know it's been a full year since we've been in person, so maybe you don't remember their name, but have any of those stood out to you? And can you just talk about how that's affected you in Life, Teen, or Edge as well?
Absolutely. I think the guest speakers that we're able to bring in are really, really impactful, because these are the people that have been like, their whole career is hyping the youth up about Jesus. And that's absolutely essential, because they're good at what they do. They get paid the way they get paid for a reason. So I remember, I don't even think I was there for when Gomer from Catching Foxes came. But I remember that I got his like sheet that he kind of gave out, like as like a little, I don't know, like a guide to his talk. And even that was impactful. Like just being able to read over his notes from the talk. I can't even imagine what it would have been like to be there. But I can remember when I definitely forgot a few names, but there were some really high impact speakers that were brought in. And I was like, wow, like not only are they good at talking about the faith, but they bring such a unique perspective to the table that it kind of allows you to see it from different angles that you might not have considered before. So I just feel like being able to have those guest speakers is absolutely essential. And it just really boosts the energy and the morale, because they bring an energy to the table. It's just unmatched a lot of times. So it's absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, for sure. And it's also just refreshing to not have to listen to David and I all the time, because I feel like we do all right. But, you know, sometimes you got to bring in the pros, you know, so it's good.
I'll give yourself some credit. Y'all pretty good.
I appreciate it.
Thanks, Ty.
All right. So the last question I have for you is just, if someone is kind of on the fence and they're not really sure if they can or if they want to support the youth ministry in the Fun Run, what advice or what would you say to that person who's still kind of deciding how they can serve or if they can serve financially?
I mean, the only thing I can tell you is, I mean, it changes lives completely. I think my life was oriented kind of in the wrong direction before I kind of got involved with youth ministry. I was definitely a rule following kid, but I think once I got to my freshman year of high school, I kind of started going down the wrong path. I wasn't like some like crazy, like getting arrested kind of type, but I definitely, I was started down a path that if I would have continued down, I would not be in a great place come senior year. But I feel like the programs at youth ministry that are made possible through these funds kind of turned my life around in a sense. I remember the Brave between my freshman and sophomore year was kind of the kickstart. I was like, I need to like change my life. I need to get my life in gear. My priorities are wrong. I care too much about popularity, like that kind of thing. Like I need to focus on my faith. And because of the programs that were available, I was able to kind of turn my life around completely. And now my life is completely reoriented. I'm confident that I'll go into college and maintain the faith. All of that is because of the youth ministry programs that are made possible by these funds. So I know I'm not the only one. So any funds you can contribute can like legitimately change lives. So please financially support us in any way that you can.
Amen. That's awesome. And I know a lot of the times when we hear that, like, it's changed my life and I'm going to keep practicing my faith and stuff, a lot of the times that's kind of short-lived. But I truly believe you when you say that 100%. And Dave and I were just talking about this the other day. We think when you go off to college, you're going to be great. And honestly, you're in a much better place than either of us was at your age. So we really trust in you. We're proud of you, and you're going to do great things for sure. So we appreciate you coming on here and everything you've done for the youth ministry too.
Thank you so much, Ty. You're the man. Thanks for everything you've done for the program.
Hey, thank y'all. I wouldn't be here without y'all. So thank y'all so much.
Amen. All right. Do you have any final thoughts for the people before we kind of move on to the next segment?
Run the 5K. If you signed up, Do your best. Let's go. I know the blistering Texas heat. It looks a little dampened today, though. The clouds seem to be covering the sun a little bit. So don't be shy. Just go for it. You don't got to tell nobody your time. So
yeah.
Fair enough.
It's true. It's true. All right. Well, we appreciate it, Ty. Thanks for taking some time to hang out with us and talk about the fun run. So we'll see you soon.
No problem. All right. Adios.
All right.
Thanks, Ty.
All right. And so with that, it is time for our next sponsor break. So we're actually going to talk about two sponsors here. So David, if you want to go ahead and start, and then Jennifer, you had one as well. So let's go ahead.
All right. Yeah. So first I wanted to talk about the Healthy Crave. They've been serving our surrounding community since 2012, and they're super excited to build new friendships in the Seabrook area where they just opened their new location. I've been, it's super nice. You should definitely check it out. We pride ourselves on providing excellent customer service, the tallest drinks in town, and helping you feel incredible. The Healthy Crave is located off of NASA 1 Road, across the street from Sam's Boat. We're excited to offer our community a healthy choice for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Visit our website at thehealthycrave.com. So that's a little quick message from them, but they're great people, Anthony and Ashley, who run it. It's family-owned business. And honestly, it'll make you feel better and feel healthier. That's why I go and continue to go. So check them out.
Awesome. And then Jennifer, you had one as well.
Yeah. So one of our other sponsors is Earthworks, and they have been a sponsor, I think, probably from the very beginning of the Fun Run. They are a locally owned business owned by by parishioners whose children, at least two so far, that are going through the confirmation process. One's already confirmed, and they've got a couple more kids coming up after that. So they're very involved in the community. Great family, great business. I know they do our neighborhood landscaping and yards in our neighborhood, and it looks awesome. So if you've need anything, especially after the freeze and you lost some plants, give them a call and they can come help fix your yard up and make it look nice and pretty again.
Awesome. All right. And then with that, I think it's time for our third and final interview. So let's go ahead and see if our next guest is ready. Hopefully.
All right. Well, again, keep posting pictures, hashtag STMary and STMary Fun Run, excuse me. Or you can tag us at Saint MC, or no, that's my email. STMaryYCM, excuse me. So our social media is STMaryYCM. That's Twitter, Instagram, and our Facebook is YCM as well. My email, if you want to know, you can ask me afterwards. Man, I do that with my phone number too. Yeah. When I'm calling people, I'm like, wait, that's my cell phone, not my work number.
All right. It looks like, Monty, can you hear us?
All right. Looks like she's getting her audio set up.
Yeah, we'll give her a couple seconds to get set up here. So make sure you guys keep sending stuff in, and then make sure you guys are doing posts for that, the other award as well, the social media butterfly, so you guys can earn some points for that as well. So Monty, can you hear us now?
Yes, I think it might have been a Wi-Fi thing. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you're good. Awesome. Well, welcome.
Okay,
awesome.
awesome.
Thanks for taking some time to do this with us, especially so last minute. I know we just reached out to you last night, so we appreciate that.
No, it's all good.
So first things first, you want to just kind of let people know who you are and kind of how you got involved in the Fun Run?
Yeah. So hey everyone, I am coming to you live from Galveston Island, where I am the youth minister here of Holy Family Parish. And I am also in the ECHO program at the University of Notre Dame with Lauren, who is the ECHO apprentice at St. Mary's. So Lauren told me and my other community members about this fun run they were doing, kind of last minute also, but I wasn't doing anything on a Friday night and decided to join.
Yeah. So being also in a position of youth ministry, so for ECHO, you've kind of been thrust into a position where you are the youth minister for basically all of Galveston.
Yep.
So can you just talk a little bit about just why youth ministry is so important to you and for the people that you serve?
Yeah. So if you don't know a ton about Holy Family Parish, like Clint said, it's kind of all of Galveston. There are 6 churches on the island that are one giant parish, recently merged, like not too long ago. But yeah, I ended up becoming the youth minister of all of them, which I was not expecting, but it's been such a blessing. It's really stretched me a lot, but yeah, youth ministry is very unique. And it ultimately is a place where teens can come to encounter Christ, in a world that doesn't really value that, a pursuit of Christ in your life. It really is a special place where they can come to be with people who are also trying to grow in their faith, or maybe even be with others who are open but are unsure, and just be around like the youth minister and the core team members who are actively living their faith, actively willing to share their faith, and want to communicate this with the teens. So youth ministry really, I've learned so much about it in becoming a youth minister, but it really is a very special and unique part of the church.
Yeah, I agree. And I can't remember the stat, but it's something like for every teen who practiced their faith, they've had 5 non-parent adults who showed that relationship and lived the faith for them. So talking about the youth minister and talking about the core team members, like they change lives. Like it's huge to be able to have those adult relationships where they can actually see the faith being lived out.
Yeah, and it's really special because it's a very different setting than a Catholic school, because that is a great model, and a lot of fruit comes from being able to learn more about Christ in the classroom and just in a school in general. But the unique thing with youth ministry is that it really is a lot more of a witnessing of the faith. Sometimes it's not a lesson that the core team member taught. It wasn't a question they asked in small group. It might just be that core team member repeatedly showing up and just giving their time and just witnessing Christ by who they are as a person, that can have so much effect on the youth.
Yeah, that's 100% true. I agree there too. Okay, so like we said, last minute, we kind of asked you to run with us. So you joined our team, Almost Athletes. See us at the award show later on. We're going to be winning all the awards. Come at us. So you joined our team. And obviously you up to this point have not really had any interaction with our parish whatsoever, but you still chose to support us and to participate. So do you mind talking a little bit about just how important it is that parishes work together? And I know it's been kind of weird this year, and being on the island, you've probably felt kind of alone, but we do have our youth ministries work together a lot. So you want to just kind of talk about that importance?
Yeah. So ultimately, I mean, we all have the same objective. We're all here for the same reason. We've all got the same goal. We're trying to communicate Christ to our kids. We're trying to help them grow in relationship, help them encounter him. And so it's so important that parishes work together, because we are, just like High School Musical, we're all in this together. And we also, different youth ministers bring such different things to the plate. I think, Clint, you probably see that even with you and David. You are very different people, and you bring very different strengths. And you see that with core team too. Everyone has something that they're bringing that's different, and it's so important to play to those strengths. And so that's one thing with working together. You have the influence of other youth ministers. And even I'm, adjusting part of our confirmation program based off of what I've heard you guys do at St. Mary's. And so sometimes other parishes could even serve as a little bit of a model, especially if they have a stronger youth group in place. So for somewhere like me, like our youth group isn't quite as established, but I'm working to grow it and to build it and to make it into something bigger than it's been. And so I can look to other parishes and see what they're doing. Or, when I was on the Archdiocesan Youth Ministry Retreat, I got some really great ideas for my confirmation retreat just from casual conversation. It wasn't even like, let's sit and talk about retreat and what I can do. No, it was just casually like, hey, what have you been doing with your kids? What have I been doing? So there really is such a great sharing that can happen. And also, part of youth group is helping the teens to meet other teens practicing their faith. And sometimes it's great to see new faces, to meet new people, to help these kids have even more connections, within their own archdiocese, and to show like it's not just these, for me, I've got about 30 to 40 kids. It's not just these ones, there's a lot more practicing Catholics out there. Because I know when I was growing up, sometimes it can feel like you're the only one. And I didn't even have a youth group. So it was super isolating, and like no one else was practicing their faith but me. But so I think that's such a beauty of, collaborating, working together with various parishes.
Yeah, and I think that overflows into all ministries, and just being able to see, like, I think it's cool when Knights of Columbus councils come together in different ministries, food pantries, stuff like that, and collaborate. It's just really cool to see the church is bigger than just the building that we go to. It's a people, and to be able to see that overflow into the world is really cool. So. Yeah,
community is so important in the church. And so that's just a very unique way to have it within the archdiocese, because obviously it's huge, but it is cool to be able to connect with people that are kind of closer to you, although everything is very far away in Texas.
Yeah. Speaking of being far away, so one of our awards is actually the social distance champion. So it's basically whoever was the furthest away from the church and participated in the event. So we actually had some people register who are currently stationed for the military in Japan. So we'll be announcing that later, but they have officially won that award, because I don't think anyone's on the moon doing the 5K right now. So they definitely won. But we have people from all over, obviously the world, but all over the country supporting this event this year, which is really cool. One of the benefits of going virtual is just people have been able to do it literally everywhere. So we have people in California. I know some people back home in Iowa are helping out too. And I think even Lauren said some people back in Connecticut were doing it as well. So it's just really cool to see the church coming together in that way as well. So we have people from all over, but what would you say to someone who just really wants to start embracing their faith, but just doesn't know where to start? So especially as someone who works in ministry, what advice would you have for them?
Yeah, it can be a little intimidating when you're not sure where to start. And if you don't have like a set group. So obviously it might be a little tough in COVID, but if you can find a group, find a Bible study or something at your parish, that's a really great way to start. But if you're just trekking along on your own, when we think about faith, ultimately what we're doing is we are working on a personal relationship with Christ. And we can work on that alone, or we can work on our relationship with Christ with others. But working on a relationship with Christ means trying to hear his voice, which is not always easy. 100%. It can be really hard. Speaking from experience, there can be times when you're like, I don't know what I'm doing. And you really don't know where to begin. But if we want to hear Christ's voice, it really helps if we know how he speaks. So we're so fortunate, unlike the very early Christians, we have a book that you can buy in any local bookstore.
Just casually has it sitting right there.
Has the words of Christ. This is my own personal Bible. So you would probably want to look for what's called the RSV, the Revised Standard Version, or the NAB, the what's the N for? The New American Bible. Yeah. Or if you want to go hardcore, I have the RSVCE2, which is the Revised Standard Version, Catholic Second Edition. And so it's just got, the translations are just like a little better. But it's okay. But those are the ones where you're going to get the true Catholic translations, because sometimes other Protestant texts might use different words that we're like, it's not really the translation, but okay. But anyway, so you can see this is my personal Bible. I use it to teach. So it is color coded by whatever lessons I was teaching. But yeah, go ahead and open up, this bad boy to the New Testament and look at the gospel. I would recommend probably Matthew. Mark's the shortest if you're feeling intimidated, but just start maybe with the Gospel of Matthew, Mark, or Luke, and just read through it and read Christ's words, read how he speaks, read what he says. And that might really help you to hear his own voice in your life. Now, sometimes it can be intimidating to open the Bible if you're not a Bible scholar, and that's okay too, because this amazing man named Father Mike Schmitz has literally created a podcast, and it's free on any kind of like podcast service. And it's actually like #1 in America. Like it passed NPR on iTunes. Yeah. Yeah. In the world. So it's the Bible in a year, and he started it on January 1st. But like, here's a secret. You don't have to start it on January 1st. You can start it anytime, I promise, and just go through it. And even if you can't do it every single day, you can still concretely you can see like what the number is and like pick up where you left off. So if you want some help with reading the Bible, you can go to him, and he starts with Genesis. He just kind of goes through. he even reads it to you. You don't even have to read it. He reads it to you. So if you're more of an audible learner, like or auditory learner, like that's okay. But this would definitely be one of my biggest suggestions for trying to jumpstart in your faith if you're looking for a way.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And if you guys ever want advice on where to start too, Monty just gave you guys pretty good advice there. But if you want more, feel free to reach out to David, myself, or any of our parish staff. We'd be happy to help. I mean, we have Father John, and we also have Pope Francis is here for the event. If you guys didn't see that, so that's kind of crazy. That's how important this is. You know, we got to bring in the big guns. So.
The top dog.
Exactly. So we really appreciate that. And I think that's great advice to start, and just having that community and being able to hear the Lord's voice through the word is huge. So so with that, I want to first off, thank you for coming in, especially so last minute. Do you have any last thoughts for the people before we go ahead and move into our final segment here?
Oh gosh, I don't think so. I wasn't prepared for a final thought. So just, happy to be here and read your Bible.
Yeah.
There you go. Those are good final thoughts. All right. Well, we appreciate it too. And thanks for taking your time to do this on your Saturday. I'm sure you had plenty of other things you could be doing, like studying for your finals and stuff.
Graduate final.
Yeah, exactly. But we really appreciate you taking the time to be here. So
thank you, Lonnie.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks so much for having me.
All right. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
See ya.
All right. So with that, thank all of you guys for joining us for this. Hopefully you guys have been able to check this out and share it with your friends. It's not too late to donate. So if you know someone who's kind of on the fence, one of the ways you guys can help is to literally share this video or share those links that we've been dropping in the chat. So if you're watching with us on YouTube, you guys can check that out. I'll go ahead and send it again here so you guys have that link. It's pretty easy to remember as well. So it's just our website, saintmcc.org/funrun. So pretty simple. So please make sure you guys are sharing that with everyone. I want to make sure I get all of our notes. So guys, if I forget anything, let me know. We also are going to be having our next event, which I'm super excited for, is our after party. So we will be meeting at 1 p.m. here in the new ministry building. So make sure you guys check that out. It's 1 p.m. new ministry building, and it'll be a chance for you to actually come inside and check out our new hall. So it's going to be great. We will have social distancing and stuff like that. There will be a couple teens here as well. We'll be announcing our award winners. I know I kind of let one slip there, but we'll be announcing the rest of them. I don't think anyone's going to pass that. Japan's kind of hard to beat. So that's that. And it'll be a chance to actually see other parishioners in person. In a safe environment. So we would really love to see you guys stop by. We do ask that you wear masks. That is still a requirement. So if you do stop by, please make sure you have that mask as well. So next thing is that costume. So if you guys have not submitted your costume photos, make sure you do that. We're running out of time, and the longer it takes for you to submit it, the less time you have for people to vote for you. So make sure you guys submit that right away, and we'll make sure it gets posted for the competition. And then make sure you also go in and vote for the best costumes. So we actually have people getting some of those points as well.
Do we have a cutoff time where we like a cutoff for voting or submissions?
Probably like an hour or so.
Cutoff time. What do we want to say for a cutoff time for submissions?
By like 12.
12. We're being told 12 by the boss.
Okay.
So, so make sure you guys have those submitted within about the next hour. We'll try and make sure that you get entered in that as well.
And they can vote on our Facebook and on our Instagram.
Yep.
So just go to our stories on either. You'll have the option to vote. And use the hashtag STMaryFunRun or at STMaryYCM. Got it right this time. That's why Clint's the host and I'm just his helper. But we would love y'all to participate and want to see those pictures come in, even if it's afternoon. We can post them as this week comes. So please continue to post pictures. Special shout out to all of our sponsors. We have so many. And just thank you for being a part of this. This is a movement and y'all are making it happen. That's what the YCM stands for, and our social media handle stands for Young Church Movement. And all of you are part of this movement. And we couldn't do without you.
Amen. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for making this possible. One more thing I wanted to announce is that if you were not able to pick up your t-shirts, we do have those, and they will be available at the after party that you guys can grab there.
And during office hours this week.
That's true. All right. Are we missing anything? That was a lot of announcements. Can you guys think of anything?
That's it. Jennifer, anything we're missing?
I don't think so. Y'all did a great job. Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you for coming in too. Oh, yes, thank you, Annalisa. That's why she's the actual boss here. So Most Spirited Award. So if you guys do something crazy and you want to go beyond just the costumes and really show your spirit in kind of promoting this movement, feel free to submit those photos as well. We'll be voting on our side for Most Spirited Award. So make sure you guys do that as well. With that, I think that is all we have. So we will see you guys hopefully in a couple hours here at the new ministry building. And thank you again for supporting this program and the youth. It really does change lives. So thank you guys, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you so much.